You know, one of the most wonderful things about learning English is that you don't need to be an expert to start communicating. You don't need to memorize hundreds of vocabulary words, and you don't need to master complicated grammar structures. All you need to do is start with the simplest things. And the simplest thing is talking about yourself. Everyone has their own story, their own life, and you can absolutely tell that story in English, step by step, one sentence at a time. It's not difficult. It just takes a little courage and a bit of persistence. Imagine meeting a new friend or joining an English class. One of the first questions people often ask is, "Tell me about yourself." So, where should you begin? Start with what's closest to you, your family. You could say something as simple as, "I have a brother." If you have more sisters, you can say, "I have 2 sisters." And if you're an only child, that's fine too. Just say, "I don't have any brothers or sisters." Simple, right? If you want to add more detail, you can say, "I have a big family. There are 5 people in my family." Or my parents live in another city. Or even, "I live with my grandparents." By combining these short sentences, you can share your family story in an honest and easy to understand way. Now let's talk about your job. Whether you're working, studying, or looking for a job, you can always express it clearly and briefly. If you have a job, say, "I work in a shop," or "I work in an office." If you're a student, say, "I'm a student." And if you're not working right now, simply say, "I don't work now." These sentences are short, easy to say, and easy to remember. You can add more detail like, "I work in a small shop near my house," or "I study at university." "I learn about business." Or if you're looking for a job, "I don't have a job now, but I'm looking for one." These simple phrases not only help you practice English, but also prepare you for real-life conversations. Next, let's talk about your hobbies. Everyone has something that makes life more interesting. Music, sports, cooking, reading. Just say, "I like music," or "I like cooking," or "I like sport." These sentences are simple yet meaningful. To go further, you can say, "I love listening to music in the evening," or "I enjoy cooking for my family." When you say, "My favorite sport is football," you're giving the listener a glimpse into your personality, what you love, what brings you joy. Believe me, when you share your hobbies in English, you're not just learning a language, you're also inspiring others. Now let's talk about where you live. Whether you're in a city, a town, or the countryside, every place has its charm. You might say, "My city is big," or "My city is beautiful." Add, "I like my city." If you live somewhere quieter, say, "I live in a small city. It is quiet and beautiful." You could also describe your hometown. "There are many trees and a river in my town," or "People here are friendly." When you put these sentences together, you're painting a picture of your world, a world that others can see and feel, even if they've never been there. And now comes the best part. You learn how to connect these simple sentences into a short introduction about yourself. Nothing fancy, just clear and sincere. You could say, "I like music and cooking," or "I live in a small city. It's quiet and beautiful." If you work, you might say, "I go to work at 8 and come home at 5. By linking these simple ideas, you're telling a story. Here's an example. "I'm a student. I study English. I like reading and listening to music. I live in Hanoi. It's a big and busy city. I don't have any brothers or sisters, but I have many friends." See? With just basic sentences, you can tell your own story in English. And do you know the most wonderful thing? You can do this every single day. Practice a short paragraph each day, add a few more sentences each week, and you'll be amazed by how fast you improve. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Don't be shy to speak, because every time you say something in English, even if it's slow or imperfect, you're taking one more step toward confidence. And all those small steps will take you to a big destination, speaking English naturally and fluently. Start today. Tell your story in your own words with the simplest English. And believe this, you absolutely can. When you first start learning English, most learners begin with very simple sentences like, I like coffee or I am tired. These sentences are easy to learn, easy to remember, and help you build a solid foundation for communication quickly. However, if you only use short, simple sentences like that, your ability to express ideas will be very limited and disconnected. The listener won't get the full picture, won't feel the emotion or deeper meaning you want to share. That's why learning how to expand sentences using simple connectors is extremely important. It's a crucial step to help you move from choppy, broken communication to smooth, natural, and meaningful speech, just like a fluent English speaker. And the best part is, you don't need complex grammar or advanced vocabulary to do this. Just a few simple words like and, but, because, and so can do something amazing. They can turn short, disconnected sentences into clear, logical, and emotional paragraphs. Let's begin with and a small but incredibly useful word. This word helps you connect two similar ideas, two actions that go together or add more information. For example, instead of saying, I like tea, I like coffee, you can combine the ideas. I like tea and coffee. The sentence becomes shorter, smoother, and easier to understand. Another example is, I work in an office and I study English. With just one word, and you're able to show two parts of your life, your job and your studies, without having to repeat the sentence structure. In everyday conversation, using and helps you keep a rhythm and flow in your speech. It sounds more natural and organized. You can say, I have a brother and a sister. I like reading and listening to music. Or I went to the store and bought some fruit. These simple but complete sentences allow you to express yourself more clearly and communicate more effectively. When you want to show two opposite things or contrast between ideas, but is your best friend. Imagine saying, I like tea, but you actually don't like coffee. Instead of making two separate sentences, you can simply say, I like tea, but I don't like coffee. It's short, clear, and gives your listener a complete thought, but helps you express that there is a difference, something unexpected or opposite that needs to be noticed. For example, I work a lot, but I don't have much money. This sentence shows a contrast between effort and result, something many people can relate to. In real-life communication, native speakers use but all the time to express real emotions and everyday situations that have some kind of conflict or contradiction. You can say, I want to go out, but it's raining, or she is nice, but sometimes she talks too much. These kinds of sentences not only make your message longer and clearer, but they also make your speech feel more honest and natural, like telling a story. And when you want to explain the reason why you do something, because is the perfect word, this is a great way to expand your sentence by giving a cause, a motivation, or a background behind an action. Instead of just saying, I eat early, try adding, I eat early because I work at night. Now your sentence isn't just about an action, but about a reason, which makes your story more meaningful. Another example, I study English because I want a better job. You're not just telling someone what you're doing. You're showing them your goals and dreams. That makes your communication stronger and more powerful. Using because helps you connect logic with feeling, action with intention. You can say, I am tired because I didn't sleep well, or I didn't go to the party because I was sick. These sentences give your listener the full picture and let them understand the situation more deeply. After you've shared a reason, you might want to describe the result, and that's where so becomes very helpful. So is a linking word that shows consequence or what happened next. For example, I am tired, so I want to sleep. This sentence is clear and logical. Being tired leads to wanting rest. Another example, I like this book, so I read it every day. You're showing your preference and what action that preference leads to. So also helps when you're telling a story or describing cause and effect. It was raining, so I stayed home. Or she didn't study, so she failed the exam. When you use so, you're guiding your listener from one point to another in a natural and smooth way. It creates a sense of movement in your speech from problem to solution, from reason to action, and that makes your language more dynamic and interesting. When you fully understand and regularly practice using these 4 simple connectors, you'll see a huge improvement in your English speaking ability. No more broken, choppy phrases. Now you can create short paragraphs that are connected, easy to follow, and full of meaning. For example, you can say, I work in an office and I study English. I like music, but I don't like dancing. I study English because I want a better job, so I learn every day. In just a few lines, you've shared personal information, preferences, motivations, and even daily actions, all smoothly and naturally. Practicing how to use these connectors will help you build a strong foundation for speaking English. You'll feel more confident talking to native speakers, sharing stories, expressing thoughts, and showing emotions in a flexible and fluent way. You don't need high-level grammar or academic words just, but because and so are enough to begin your journey toward natural English speaking. Practice every day. Write a diary, talk to yourself, or retell your day in English, and you'll notice progress little by little. The most important thing is to start with simple steps and keep going. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep trying. And one day, you'll speak with confidence and ease the way you've always dreamed. When learning English, many people tend to focus only on memorizing vocabulary, studying grammar rules, or doing exercises in books. That's not wrong. But if you don't practice speaking every day, it's very hard to become fluent and natural. Learning a language is not just about knowledge. It's a skill, like playing the guitar, riding a bike, or swimming. And like any skill, it improves with daily repetition and real practice. So how can you speak English every day when you don't live in an English-speaking country? When everyone around you speaks your native language and there's no one to talk to in English, the answer is you can talk to yourself. That's right. Speak English in your daily life, even when you're alone. Every moment of your day is a chance to learn and practice. For example, when you're doing housework, washing dishes, sweeping the floor, or cooking, don't just work in silence. Instead, say what you're doing out loud in English. I see a spoon. I wash the plate. I clean the table. These are very simple sentences, but they train your brain and your mouth to speak English naturally. Don't wait for a perfect moment or a perfect sentence. Just speak. Speak what you see, what you feel, and what you do. When you go outside, keep practicing. Say what you're doing in English. I walk to the shop. I see a dog. I buy bananas. These sentences may seem easy, but they build fluency. Over time, your brain will stop translating from your native language and begin thinking directly in English. And that's exactly what fluent speakers do. Another powerful technique is talking to yourself in front of a mirror. You may feel silly at first, but it's incredibly effective. Look into your own eyes and pretend you're introducing yourself to a new friend. Say, I live in Hanoi. I like music and reading. I go to work at 8. The mirror gives you immediate feedback. You can see your facial expressions, your mouth movements, and your confidence grow day by day. The most important advice: speak out loud. Speak every day. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something new. If you stay silent, you miss your chance to grow. But if you speak a lot, you'll become more comfortable, more confident, and eventually more fluent. Remember, you don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to speak consistently. Every sentence, every word, every effort counts. Speak loudly and clearly. Listen to your own voice. Let your brain and your mouth get used to the rhythm and sound of English. Soon you'll notice a change. You won't freeze when someone speaks English to you. You'll stop translating in your head. You'll begin to express yourself naturally with confidence. This ability doesn't come from luck. It comes from practice. Daily, regular, fearless practice. You can even record your own voice. Choose a topic. Talk about your day, your plans, your dreams. Listen to yourself. Notice your pronunciation, your tone, your fluency. Day by day, you'll improve. You'll feel proud of your progress. In the end, success doesn't come from big changes, but from small actions done consistently. You don't need to study for hours. Just 10 minutes a few times a day is enough if you truly focus. The key is, don't give up. You might not see progress right away. You might feel embarrassed, but every time you open your mouth to speak English, you're taking one step closer to your dream. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't compare yourself to others. Just keep going. Keep speaking. Keep believing. Speak often to get used to it. Speak every day to improve. Speak with belief that English will be yours if you practice a little bit every single day. Learning English is not a destination, but a journey of expansion, transformation, and growth. It not only enables you to communicate with the world, but also helps you understand yourself better and realize your ability to conquer what once seemed impossible. Maybe you've tried learning English many times but gave up. Maybe you thought, I don't have a talent for languages, or I'm too old to start over. But let me tell you this. Language learning isn't about talent. It's about habit. And anyone at any age from any starting point can master English if they truly want to and are persistent. You can start with the simplest sentences. I have a sister. I like music. These short, seemingly trivial sentences are the foundation for all future conversations you will have. Don't belittle yourself for only being able to say things like, my city is big, or I like sport. Think of these sentences as the first bricks in building a house. No one can build a mansion without starting with the smallest bricks. Learning English doesn't require you to be smarter than others. It only requires you to be more consistent. Speak every day. Observe the world around you through English. When washing dishes, say, I wash the plate. At the market, say, I buy bananas. When it rains, say, it's raining. You don't need perfect pronunciation or grammar. What you need is repetition. repeating daily so that English sinks into your mind like breathing. Practice speaking in front of a mirror. Don't wait for a teacher to speak. Don't wait for the perfect time to start learning. Create your English environment in your own small room. Speak out loud. It's okay to make mistakes, but don't stay silent. Silence is the enemy of language. You learn a language not to memorize, but to use. And you can only use it when you truly dare to open your mouth. I know there will be days when you feel tired. You may wonder, am I making any progress? But progress isn't always immediately visible. It's like planting a seed. Every time you listen to English, say a sentence, read a story, you are watering that seed in your mind. One day, you will suddenly realize, I understand this video, or I can talk to a foreigner without Google Translate. That is the day you harvest. Don't expect to become fluent quickly. Set the goal to be consistent instead. Even 5 minutes a day is good, as long as you don't give up. Learning English doesn't require speed. It requires endurance. Like climbing a mountain, you don't need to run fast. You just need to keep stepping. And if you ever feel discouraged, remember why you started. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you simply want to understand your favorite songs. Any reason is valid. Hold that flame in your heart and keep going. I advise you to build the habit of learning English every day, whether it's 5 minutes of listening, 10 minutes reading a short story, or just saying a few simple sentences in front of the mirror. Don't see learning as a burden, see it as time invested in yourself. Start with what you love. If you love music, learn through songs. If you enjoy cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you love travel, learn to talk about places in English. Another important point, learn to use, not just to pass exams. If you learn English only to pass a test, you'll quickly forget it. But if you learn to communicate with the world, to open up new opportunities, you'll learn with genuine joy and motivation. And now, if you're reading these final lines, I believe you truly want to change. You want to improve. You want to master English. So don't wait any longer. Take action today. Speak. Listen. Open your heart and believe. You can do it. Start by picking a few simple sentences to say every morning. Record your voice. Listen back. Self-correct. Gradually, you'll see progress. Don't hesitate to ask friends, family, or teachers to correct your mistakes. See mistakes as a good sign, because it means you dared to try. Join English learning communities. Connect with others who share the same goal. Learn from each other. Encourage each other. Don't study alone. Learning is a journey that needs companions. When you see others trying just like you won't feel alone. And finally, let me tell you this. Don't give up. Don't give up because your pronunciation isn't perfect. Don't give up because someone laughed at your mistakes. Don't give up because you feel like you're not improving. English is like sunlight. If you keep moving toward it every day, eventually it will illuminate your path. Make English a part of your life. Let English live in your breath in every ordinary moment. And then, not too far from now, you will look back and smile. I did it. Right after reading this article, don't let the inspiration fade away. Get up, look in the mirror, and say any sentence in English. Write down 3 simple sentences you will use today. Play an English video. Keep the volume low and listen for 2 minutes. Open your phone and record yourself introducing yourself in English. Don't overthink. Just do it. Don't let tomorrow decide your progress today. Make a commitment to yourself. I will learn English every day, no matter how little, but I will never stop. You may start slow, but never stop. because those who keep going to the end are the ones who win. And you, the one reading these lines, are a warrior, a persistent learner, someone who is changing their own future. English is just a tool. The real power is within you. Start today. Start with yourself. If you found value in what we just shared and it inspired your English learning journey, don't hesitate to hit the like button to support this video. Share it with your friends, your family, or anyone who needs a little motivation to start learning English in the simplest and most natural way. And most importantly, subscribe to Kunzy Podcast English so you won't miss any future episodes, where every day you'll find not only knowledge, but also encouragement, companionship, and the belief that you can do it. English isn't hard if you have the right guide. Kunzy will always be here, walking this journey with you step by step. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.